Hello and welcome back to the LeadCrafters dashboard tutorial video series. In this video we're going to pick up where we left off in the Manage tab, in the Forms section of the Manage tab. And what I didn't cover before was, in order to get back to this two-choice selection page, you just click on the Forms link again and it'll bring you right back here. So in this one we're going to work on Edit Form Fields. When I click on that, you'll see this is from a familiar box here on the left-hand side, View Your Form, where you can actually see the changes that you're making by opening up any or all three of these, of these pages. Now the first four fields on the right-hand side, you can activate or deactivate those only. You can't make any other changes to those first four fields. These show up. These are the first questions that are asked on the first page. First name, last name, phone, and email. If you want to not get the person's phone number, you can just deactivate that, and once you save that page, that question will no longer be asked of that person. The next thing we have is the page 1 fields. These are all the fields that you can choose. You're going to have an additional 6 fields on page 1. Now this is how page 1 displays: first name, last name, phone, there's a format, and the email. By the way, these first four, if they're active, they're mandatory. So the form will not allow a user to proceed without filling out any of those first four, any of them that are activated. Then the next 6 fields, if you activate them by clicking on this button here and clicking on Active, by changing them to active, you can add those fields and your page size will grow to accommodate any additional questions that you want to ask on page 1. The same thing, and then right below activate the field 1 label, this is actually the label that would show up right here next to the question. So you want to keep that nice and short, because otherwise it'll wrap right next to this, right next to here, and this will grow an odd number of spaces. So keep the questions nice and short and it'll look better. We're going to move down to page 2. This is the second page. This is after they've clicked on from the first page, proceed to next step, which is a nice way to make sure these people aren't tire kickers. They're a little more serious about making a purchase. You get access to the page 2 fields. Now we've put this at the top. This is the radio field. The radio field. These are radio buttons. The radio field, we put it at the top, but it actually shows up after field 2. The radio field is kind of considered field 3 in this scenario. So if you want to have that two-choice radio button field active, just make sure that says active. And then the label is what you see. The beginning of option 1 label is what you see here. Option 2 label is what you see here. And please select, the words please select are mandatory. I mean, those are automatic. And then this option 1 value and option 2 value, this is just what is delivered to you. So just delivered in the email, in the lead email. This is the data that's delivered to the customer. Never sees that information. On page 2 fields, as you come down here, you'll see that there's 10 additional, or I'm sorry, there's 10 total fields on page 2, and you'll see that it skips field 1, field 2, and then field 4. That's because, as I mentioned, the radio field is field 3. The radio button is field 3. All of these fields are standard 1-line boxes except for field 10. Field 10 is actually a comment box, so it's a larger box. It's the same width, I believe, but longer, taller box, so it's more for paragraphs if you want to ask someone to describe something or write something more than just a quick 1-line answer. And then fields 7, 8, and 9 are actually mandatory fields. So if you want to have some of these questions, like in our example here we have monthly traffic, if you want that to be mandatory, you can just deactivate field 2 up here and reactivate down here in field 8, and that question will now be mandatory, and it won't put in any extra spaces. This is how you change. Once you click Apply Changes, that'll be a live change, and that's how you do it. That's all you need to do to ask different questions. Anyway, that's the end of our tutorials. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll talk to you later.